Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Vuyo and on this channel we talk about all things making money online. But on this specific video, I'll be doing a book review. How are we going to make money online or more money if we are bleeding inside? So the specific book I'll be talking about today is Crazy Faith by Todd. So this book was a joy to read. But let me just go back to my backstory on why I am reading. Okay, reading is one of my goals this year, to read more and of course consume content that is gonna build me. So I'm like, let me learn how to have faith. So I bought this book because I believe in God, but I didn't have faith. I was literally doing all the heavy work, doing everything for myself, and at the end of the day, that was strenuous for me, and it did actually hinder my mental health. I didn't have faith in God that much because I lost a parent at a very young age. My mom died at 12 years old. And I mean, imagine losing a parent that young, but also having to now have faith in someone you haven't seen before, and that someone is maybe the reason your parent is not here. And of course, daddy issues. So my dad is in my life, but not really in my life, if you get what I'm saying. So that made it hard for me to trust anyone, not just male figures, anyone. So can you imagine me just trusting God and having faith in God completely, even though I've never met him, when I can't even trust and have faith in my own dad? So that is part of the reasons why I bought this book. And my experience with career rejection, and of course failed relationships. So if you have experienced any rejection in your life, you will understand why it was so hard for me to have faith in God and trust God completely. So I'm just sorry, I will be looking down on my notes because I don't want to forget anything. And number one, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a speaker, I'm just sharing what I've learned from the book. So from the book, there's an acronym which is HEART, meaning H stands for being humble, O for being open, and T for being transparent. No, H stands for humble, yes. So I'm also going to be hot on this video. So I wanted to read this book because I needed to grow my faith. And the reason I wanted to grow my faith is because I was such a negative person. I was always spewing negativity, just looking at the bad side of life in every aspect. And when I mean every aspect, I mean every aspect. I would pretend that to be someone I'm not. I pretend that I'm not caring, I'm not sweet, I'm not like a very happy person because I don't want to be disappointed by people. So basically, I would reject someone before they reject me in every like sphere of my life, whether it be career, friendships, relationships. And that one of my friends made me, she was honest to me and told me that the reason I don't hang out with you so much, or I don't call you and ask you what you're doing, is because you are always negative. And it hurt me, I won't lie, I was literally crushed. But when I did some introspection, I realized that she was honest with me and it was truthful. I always entertained the devil's ideas about who I am, and I was starting to change. If you know me from a young age, you know I'm very sweet, I'm very like polite, but as I've grown older, I've been so hardened. I'm so hard to make friends, like, but but I'm trying to change that and be the person that I was initially. So I bought the book because I was so tired of the heavy lifting and I want God to take control of my life. And the minute I made that decision, did He do things for me? So I'm just going to first start off with the pitfalls of this book. So things that people might not like. So the first one is the language. The writer is American. He uses a lot of American slang, which I enjoy because I consume a lot of American content like series or music, the works. And then the other thing is the American culture. If you don't like the American culture and it bores you, you're going to be annoyed because he is obviously American and he will write from his perspective. And some of the examples that he makes are American. And he even talks about the Fry Festival that happened in America. Please go watch this documentary. I'll put it right here. This documentary is very fun. Please go watch it on how people can be fake and frauds. So let me go to what I've learned from this book. Okay? I've learned about the importance of having baby faith. I'm talking about the 5 things I've learned from this book. You have to trust God completely. That means you have to trust God like you trust your parents when you were a baby. This is hard for me, or this I'm working on, because as I said previously, I lost a parent and my dad is not really there for me in a way that a dad should be. So it's hard for me to trust God. Remember, God, I have never seen God, but I have seen of his work and I've seen the gospel change people. So that is why I am trusting God completely, because I've seen what the gospel have done for people around me and people that I love. And then you also have to state your faith. So the tongue is a very powerful tool, as we read on the Bible. If you don't know, just go back to your Bible. And in everything that you need to speak it out loud with your voice, not think it or write it down only. You have to speak it out loud and declare it and believe it that God has done it for you, and thank God that He has done it for you. And shout it out loud. Don't be scared of embarrassing God. Let's say I say, you know what, I am going to get married this year. And it doesn't come to pass, and I'm all of a sudden I'm embarrassing God. God doesn't need my protection. If I believe and want to get married this year, I just say it with conviction and believe it that it's done and leave it at that. God can never be embarrassed. I mean, He's God. And then the third thing is lazy faith doesn't help. So that is when you are just being faithful and not doing your part. So if you want to be married, you have to be also open to going on dates, open to knowing people and getting out there and meeting people. I mean, your husband is not gonna come in your home or your house and say, "Hi, I'm your husband." You have to be out there and mixing with the people. And then the fourth one is let me just go back to lazy faith as well. If you are like looking for a job and you believe in God for a job, you definitely have to put in the work, put in the CVs, apply, follow up, be active. And God doesn't want perfection. He wants progression. You have to grow. So if you are growing, even if it doesn't look good to the next person, where you are quote begging, but if God sees that you putting the work, you putting the progression, you going from one level to the other, God will bless you with whatever you want. You cannot be lazy and also be faithful. And then let's go on to the crazy walk. faith. So God wants us to dream big. Don't worry about anything, but pray about everything and let God take over. And after you've prayed, have that crazy worship and thanking God and believing God that He's done anything and everything for you. Remember, He's a God of restoration and a God that provides. So there is no way that you are a believer and you are always in lack. So just pray about it and believe that God has done it for you, and then it will come to pass. And there's also the last one is fading faith. So everyone has experienced some sort of loss, and in that loss, your faith is like, oh, it's moving away. God is not there for me. But you have to remain in the same posture, remain where you are with God, even if the devil is whispering this and that and that. But remain faithful to God that He will do it for you. Everybody goes through pain. Everybody goes through loss and disappointment. But you have to remain faithful. And God will also give you the power to be faithful if you trust Him and trust Him completely. And then there are those fake faiths. Number one is manifesting to the universe. That is not being faithful. You having hope and you throwing it to the universe. Whatever sticks. But when you are faithful only to God. You don't manifest to the stars and the moons and the universe. You only speak and pray to God. The other fake faith is when you have faith in your pastor. When you pray like, the God of Banbani will help me. You have to have your own connection to God. You have to have your own faith to God so that He can. What if your pastor does something wrong? Something that disappoints you? Are you going to look for a next pastor to say the faith of Banban? You have to say the faith of Vuyo. I believe that this and this will happen. And there's a fake faith of being optimistic. Happy-go-lucky people will say you have to have a positive outlook in everything. Everything will go well, blah, blah, blah. But your faith must remain in Jesus, because Jesus can even heal depression. But being optimistic annoys people who are depressed. You have to experience whatever feeling you're feeling now, but the center of your mind must know that you serve a living God. So with that being said, I really encourage everyone to read this book. I don't want to go like too much on the book, on all the chapters and whatever, but I'm just going to share what I have learned from the book, and I would encourage you to get the book. I got it from Come Books, and they delivered it here at home, and I had a blast reading it. It's such an easy read, very interesting, very funny. It's for the new age Christian, like the cool Christian. So I hope you guys enjoyed my book review, and please subscribe to my channel, and of course like this video and share with your friends and families, and I hope to see you in my next video next week. Bye.